Hey guys, Military Gun Guy here. Today we're going to be trying something a little different. You may have seen some of these etching kits that are available on the market. You can get them on eBay or Gunbroker. I am doing a Replica 1897 Winchester shotgun. Actually, it's a real shotgun. I'm just making it into a trench broom. So what I've done, I've kind of actually pre-prepped some of the stuff, and I'll go through the process of what I'm actually going to be doing. Let me back this out just a little bit. Okay. So these shotguns and various other weapons were marked with arsenal stamps. You'll see the roll marks on a Chilean Mauser, etc. There are a couple of vendors that do sell pretty accurate kits that will allow you to reproduce those markings. Now, obviously, I'm doing this for information purposes. I'm not doing this to build an 1897 that I turn around and try to sell to somebody that, hey, this is an authentic, it is a reproduction. So yeah, don't be dicks about that. But what they do is they make these little stencils. Okay, you can probably see it about there. They're kind of cool, and you can make almost any type and style. Make them any size. This guy in particular is a guy named Thor's Hammer. You find him on eBay. Really nice guy. Prices are super reasonable. These are one-time use only. Okay, so he made me a variety of stencils. This one I actually happened to buy off of his eBay account, but I also have a couple of AK-74 rifles that I am building, where I'm looking to match the trunnion number to the other numbers. So I'm basically force matching the different parts. So for example, here is an Ijevsk. You can probably see it about there. There's an Ijevsk serial number. It's a 1990. I take that back. This is a Tula, 1990 Tula, and the number on this one is 202899. Well, he also made me a stencil that's 202899. Let's see if I can get it close enough to where this camera will focus. And you can see he came pretty close to. Oh, there we go. He came pretty close. Oh, going away from my thing. To matching the numbers to how I need it. So I can get an accurate representation of how the original Russian fonts were done by using these one-time use stencil kits. And what I'm actually going to be doing, this one here is, I'm actually going to be matching this number on the various parts. I have another scrubbed tool, or actually a scrubbed Bulgarian trunnion that I'm going to be turning into a Tula by etching the Tula star on it, as you can see here. Okay, and I'm also going to be doing the numbers on that one. The kits come in a variety of types. He has everything from Yugoslavian to Hungarian. Of course, mine won't come out now. Here's the Hungarian markings. You can see. I'm also going to be doing some etching on a rifle for a friend of mine. The original URJ as found on the right side selector. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on this 1897 Winchester shotgun. Part of the prep is I like to bead blast. You don't necessarily have to, but you will have to do some type of finish on top of it. So what I've done is this has already been bead blasted, Strip Center Media blasting in Las Vegas, Nevada. Awesome guys. They blasted all the shit off this gun. This gun was pretty well worn anyway. I've just taken some handy dandy Harbor Freight sanding block. Sanded off the finish, and because you need something smooth for this template or the stencil to stick to. The other thing I've also done is the top of the barrel. I've also realized had a small flaming bomb shotgun, so we're gonna etch that, and we are going to etch this right side of the receiver with this marking in particular. Okay, and we're going to carefully place it right over where this screw hole is, and then finally we're also going to be doing on this M92, we're going to be doing the URJ on this one. And then at a later date, we're also going to be doing the Tula trunnion. I'll show you how to match all that stuff. It's a super simple kit. It's almost childlike. There's little 9-volt leads. Go to your 9-volt battery, which provides your power. Okay. You have a cup of warm water, which my child has provided. You have ordinary table salt, which you basically use to be used. The salt accelerates the conduction process. You have some makeup pads that your wife may have, cotton squares, whatever. I use the 91% isopropyl alcohol, isopropyl. I don't know how to say it. I generally don't use a degreaser. Usually, after it's been bead blasted, I will go in and just, I'll give it a light coat of WD-40. So between using the the alcohol and whatnot, you'll get, all you're looking for is a very good adhesion of the stencil to the metal. And then from there, what you're going to be doing is you're actually attaching these leads onto your battery. One is going to go onto your part, which actually will be your positive, and then you're going to use like that, and then you're going to use the negative attached to the pad, dipped in the salt water to just lightly touch it. And that way you're going to actually be etching the surface of the metal with the stencil and actually burning that image into the metal to give it that authentic look. So I'm going to finish prepping the stuff. We'll be back in a couple of seconds and we'll get to it and show you how it's done. You'll actually find it's almost like stupid easy. So stay tuned for 1 minute. I'll be back. Okay, mind you, I haven't done a ton of these, so you're going to be kind of a little bit learning alongside me as well. Yes, I don't profess to know everything, even though I wish I did. So the first step, and I'm actually going off of the instructions, the first step is to basically carefully, so you have the top layer, you have a top layer, focus, 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 there we go. So you have a top layer on the stencil, okay, that is, there we go. Top layer on the stencil, that is your sort of protective layer. You have your white release layer underneath, and then you have the blue layer, which is the actual stencil. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to very carefully peel off the white release layer, okay? And take your time on this. Use a pair of tweezers. I don't have tweezers with me, even though I have a house full of girls. Don't ask. So take this off. Okay. I did leave a little part there. I'll try to come back and get that. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to put it in a spot that I think is going to work well. I kind of like this spot here. So I'm going to put it here, which will also work. Actually, I might just go there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press that down very well. And what I'm looking for is a high amount of adhesion of the stencil to the metal itself. Okay. So now, basically now what I'm going to actually do, and they do say to put this at an angle. So if you do it at an angle, you basically eliminate the amount of air bubbles that will be present. If if you've ever tried to put those stupid liners on top of a cell phone, those cell phone with protectors, you know how much of a pain in the ass that'll be. So what you're going to do now is you're going to come in and you're going to take this little top piece off. It never comes off quite that easy. And of course my eyesight sucks. So I'm actually, instead of a toothpick, I'm going to use the edge of a knife blade. I'm going to try to pick that up a little bit. Yeah, probably going to be here all day. Let me get this thing up and then I'll come back to you just in one sec. Hold on. Okay, some success. I do want to do this on camera as much as possible. So you can probably see, focus there, you can probably see where it's coming up just a little bit. So I'm just going to take these little tweezers. I'm going to pull this fucker at an angle, okay? And slowly and carefully, I'm going to peel that stencil off, okay? So now we have a nice flat stencil which to do our etching. Now, you're saying, what about the middle? Yes, what about the middle? Well, unfortunately, these two pieces stuck, so we have to take these two pieces off. I hate this sometimes, this thing. We gotta get these pieces off and put them on there. So we're gonna do the same thing, and very carefully try to get this thing off without damaging it or losing it. Okay. Not the most cooperative piece in the world, to be honest. Alright, so I've got the bottom part. Now, unfortunately, our other piece stuck to here, so I'm going to try to get it off and get it on there without damaging it. You can tell a lot of these stencils are kind of delicate, so you have to be really careful with them, as the instructions say, and this is why. What I'm trying to do is get this bomb piece back on. Hopefully I didn't fuck it up too much. And try to get it back on in a spot where it's going to provide maximum adhesion and not... Oh, fucker. Yeah, no fun. The stencils themselves are well made, and so they're going to stick pretty hard. Okay, so this is what we're going for. I got lucky on that one. You can basically see where now I have it lined up. I'm going to press the hell out of this because I don't want any seepage underneath. Okay. Apparently I got a dead battery, so I'm going to throw a new battery in this thing. We're going to come back, and then I'll show you the etching process. And if everything works according to plan, we'll have a beautifully etched US replica of the 1897 trench gun. Stand by. Okay, we're back, finally. All right, so here is our 1897 Winchester shotgun. This is the stencil that we're going to be using. It is a US flaming bomb, and come on, focus. There we go. You can see that the actual stencil itself is pretty accurate. They're really, really nicely made. They are a little temperamental, especially some of the small parts. I'm going to definitely go over it, and I'm going to try to make sure that this thing is really, really well stuck down, because obviously I do not want it to come up. The prep involved basically cleaning the area up. Don't use any degreaser, just use some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. I use the 91%. Sand it, degrease the hell out of it, because obviously the better that your area is prepped, the better adhesion you will have. But this is mainly what you're looking for, is good adhesion of your actual decal. I'm going to go ahead and do the top of this barrel as well. This one is going to be getting the same thing, except it's just going to be getting the bomb. Parts are probably going to be just as intricate, but just using the alcohol, cleaning everything off. On this one, okay, where I've seen the bomb etched, the flaming bomb ordnance mark, is right above the Winchester symbol. I don't know if it can focus on that thing. It's going to be right above the Winchester symbol, right about here, okay? So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go in, we have our stencil, okay? I'm going to carefully, maybe not so carefully, peel the back off, stick it on there. I'm going to remove the front, and then we're going to move to the etching process. That's if the release paper wants to come off. Couple ways you can do it. Razor blade does seem to work. Looks like fairly well. You can go in, and they recommend tweezers. I don't have tweezers, so I'm just going to go with this. Painfully. Yeah, it doesn't want to come off, of course. Well, never mind. Let's get to that one after. Let's get through this one first. Okay, so the process is relatively simple. You're going to use your cup of warm water. Any type of water works. You have your Rayovac battery or whatever battery you like. This thing's taking forever to focus today. Come on. There we go. And then you have your positive and negative leads. According to the instructions, and again, this is Thor's hammer. These are the instructions for the kit. They are extremely, extremely thorough. They tell you exactly how to do it. It's almost idiot-proof, and I'm going to see if that's true. All right, so basically I'm electrical taping off all the areas that it's not that I'm necessarily masking it because I don't want the etching stuff there, but what I'm actually doing is, in case any of it runs, it doesn't etch the other parts that you don't want etched. So the masking tape, or the electrical tape, gives you both a nice sort of protective surface. Okay, I'm going to stick the hell out of that with my finger. Perfect. So that's what we have. We have a nicely masked off area that is basically ready to etch. So move on to the etching process.